We are starting off by following Koa down to our university, which, as you can see, is already in the process of being upgraded to tier 3. He is 75% done with the upgrade already and pretty much has all of the items in for it. So this is going to be a great first start once we get this build up, because it means that we can finally go for cheat sheet to give our workers 25% more recipe slots, as well as the Hamlet research to increase our overall max citizen population cap. All that he needs at the moment is 4 lanterns and a redstone repeater, and that's him got everything then to upgrade this to tier 3. Both of those items should have been made for him already, and maybe it's just our delivery system that's been a bit held up, as per usual. So I'll head out to the back here and see if they have made those items for him, which our blacksmith has not made him the lanterns for it, although they do have the iron nuggets in order to make them. So if I could find them, I will just make the lanterns up myself. And Alexandria, our mechanic, she should have made the redstone repeaters for us, which I'm guessing that she maybe hasn't either. Well, once again, she has most of the items in for it, so I will just make them up as well. And just like that then, that's everything that Koa needs in order to get the university to tier 3. So it's really not going to be before long before we can go for those new researches. And in preparation for that, I should then start getting the steak we need for the Hamlet research, and the paper then for the cheat sheet upgrade. I just missed it there, unfortunately. I hadn't realised that she had all of the items for it, but that was Jalia just completing a house upgrade to tier 2, I suppose. I am not really sure which house she was working on. Maybe the Caledonia one here. And the fact that she has stood outside of it at the moment, I would say that was the best bet. Good work then, pal. Let's maybe get you just upgrading this to tier 3 if the materials are alright for it. Which they might be or might not be, but it really doesn't matter. I will at least get you out and back working for us. In the open request list, Ellison is asking for 1 light grey stained glass pane, which is easy enough for me to make, and 1 black bed. The black bed causes me a bit of concern because, thanks to that pirate raid the other day, I was able to collect several black beds from it, which should all be within this warehouse here. Which, by the looks of it, I don't think that they are. Are they still within my stash? Not this stash here. Maybe our industry one? Let me double check because it's just here. No. What happened to all of those black beds? She only required 3 of them in total, of which she has 2 of the 3. So unless another build has requested any of those beds, I'm not really sure what has happened to them. I mean, it's an easy enough job for me to head out here to grab some black wool to then make them, but that's not really the point here. I will chase that up at another point, but for now there are 3 black beds and one of the warehouses can then deal with that for us. And that's the university now up at tier 3. Brilliant, let's get these researches. And because these researches are level 3 researches, they are going to take 2 hours in order for them to complete each of them. So it's maybe not going to be during this episode that we unlock them, but at least we will make some progress towards actually unlocking them. And Mariah has just finished a build of her own, a house across the way to tier 2 or tier 3, not sure which. Well done, pal. I will come out and see that in a second. For now though, we have 2 of 3 researches in progress. Because this university is now up at tier 3, I really could have another researcher in to help us with yet another research, which I would like them to then do builder modes for us, to add the option to select different build modes for our builders. We have all of the requirements met for this, and in fact I am going to start it, but they will not do that research until the 2 researchers that we have here currently have finished the upgrades that I've set them already. If we had a 3rd researcher within the university, they would then pick up that builder mode 1, and that would be all 3 of those researches done pretty much at the same time. I did see a traveller around the place, a visitor who only required some gold ingots to recruit them. If they are still kicking about, I will see about recruiting them in. I think it was Amelia here. Yes, it is. So let's recruit her in then for 36 gold. And you are now going to become our researcher, our 3rd researcher. So in 2 hours' time, that will be all 3 of those upgrades then unlocked for us. Brilliant. Because we upgraded 2 houses there, we should have gained a couple more beds within the colony. 45 of 48, we still need more housing. All I can really do at the moment is upgrade the current ones to tier 3, which is exactly what we're doing. I really don't want to put down too many more housing at the moment, not until I kind of work out where I want them to be. It is simple enough to place down more housing to kind of get things up and working here, but inevitably I will then need to rip them down and reposition them once I find a better place for them, or I could just wait until I do find a better place for them to begin with and save any of that hassle. So it's really then just a matter of upgrading all of these to tier 3, which this house already is at tier 3. Let's check the other ones, which this one here is not at tier 3, but I remember those cobwebs. This is because this build here will require other builds to get up, such as our concrete mixer's hut, and more space within the sawmill in order to teach more recipes towards it. I maybe need to check these out on a case-by-case order here. Any doable builds that we can easily upgrade, that's absolutely fine. The rest of them though, we will maybe need to wait until we do get those builds up. I just checked all of our resource scrolls and all of our builders are currently working on a house upgrade, which is excellent, apart from Mariah, who I guess will also then just work on a house upgrade, and we will get this Nordic one here up to tier 3 as well. But if all 5 of our builders then get the house that they are working on up to their next level, then that's going to be an additional 5 beds within the colony, which again is only going to help. The only item on our request system at the moment is glass panes, which I will just make up by hand until we do get our glassblower's hut up. The glassblower's hut is a slightly more complicated build, at least for the randomizer here to get up, because it is a stupidly big build, a big sandstone build that we will need to get up, and we really need a lot more sand in order to get that up first, which is where our new crusher build will help with that. If we had a worker inside of it, of course. Well, there is not too much that I need to do around here at the moment, so I'm just going to make my own workup and head across the way to this mesa biome, because I do remember seeing some mine shafts around here, and of course we have some cobwebs on top of them. So that's just another item then off of the list for whatever house upgrade required it. Should have used Silk Touch like I was doing there. Nope, I was wrong again. It's just simply some shears to get them off. Clearly I'm having one of those days. Well, whatever the case, at least I have returned with those cobwebs and they can take them into the warehouse and use them whenever they require them. Mariah has clearly picked up the Nordic house and is requesting in some white carpet, which is a recipe for our Fletcher build. So I can very easily come over here and teach him that. Also, that's Koa just upgraded a house already. Damn, that was quick. That's now been taught and off the list, and our warehouse is full. Absolutely fantastic. And I don't think that Koa now has another job, so maybe it was the stone house here that he just finished off. I think it was. Let's get him then upgrading that to tier 3 for us. And then there's yet another bed. Night is upon us yet once again, but the difference between this night and other nights is that we do not have any homeless citizen now. Perfect, we have finally managed to solve our homeless situation. We will still need to upgrade the houses that we have for more beds so that we can get some more citizens once we unlock that research. But one problem at a time, and we are slowly starting to solve them all. Apart from the bloody warehouse always being full, maybe tier 4 will help with that. I think it's items like all of these shears that we have inside of the warehouse which aren't helping and are just taking up valuable space. Yeah, let's take out some of these. Those are just little mementos of past problems that we have solved, coming back to haunt us again. While I've just seen that Riley is about to flag off her Space Wars house upgrade next, I think this is up to tier 2, so nicely done there, Riley. I can't really see too much difference with this build at the moment, apart from maybe an extra storage space, unless we are removing the blocks here and there's maybe something behind it, which there does seem to be the case. I was also getting some weird little mini lag spikes down there. Not quite sure what was happening there, but Riley should just be about to flag this off as complete. Yup, nicely done there, pal. Right, you go pick up yet another house order. I remember that you have quite a lot around the agricultural district to do here, so you certainly have your work cut out for you. Actually, she has picked up the farm upgrade to tier 2. Ooh, something slightly more interesting than a house upgrade. This is just so that Opal here, our farmer, can then start working on another field and maybe start growing us some more wheat within our stacked fields here. Seeing as we are always at a lack of wheat. Right, what do we need for this upgrade then? Sand, lots and lots of sand, and we really need a crusher in that crusher build to start producing us some sand. I will see if we do have anyone spare or any new visitor that we can hire for that. Ariana is fairly cheap to get. Nether quartz. Give me a second. At least we now do have the housing required to give them a bed at night, and I have plenty of nether quartz to recruit them. Alright then, pal, take your quartz and welcome in. Let's go get you a job as our crusher. So that is now going to be our sand and gravel, and even clay needs now sorted for us. Good work, Ariana. Let's get a lot of sand up because Riley is certainly going to need it. And a new kid was just born. Holy crap. That might have been because our Nordic styled house there was just upgraded by Mariah, and there was the kid just run past us. So clearly all of our house upgrades are starting to pay off here, and we are slowly starting to expand out our population. And once we get that upgrade from the university, we will expand it out even further. And I was literally just about to wrap up there until I checked our request system and seen that Riley is requesting in some dirt stairs. And that's a fairly unusual request to get in. So let's go see if we can find the appropriate build to teach that recipe to. Which build that is, I have no idea. But there's another house build being upgraded by Koa. Thank you very much, son. It is the mechanic's hut who can learn the recipe to make the dirt stairs. How very odd. But at least we now know.